Everyone, Eyal Levi here, and I am going to unmask I Can Tell You About Pain by Converge, which was originally produced and mixed by the one and only Kurt Ballou. I'm very excited to get into this because not only is Kurt one of the most requested people to come on Nail the Mix, he's also one of my favorites. So, been looking forward to this. And if you know who Kurt is, then you probably know him for two different reasons. You know him as the guitar player from Converge, and you know him for his incredible and unique productions. He has a way of making things sound raw, natural, and explosive, but yet modern and huge. So, but in his own way, which is really, really cool. So, I have the track here, as you can see. Decent amount of tracks, and I will show you what plugins I have on. None. And just some basic leveling so we can get through the unboxing easily. And I'll play it for you as is. Very excited to have a track like this on Nail the Mix, and also love the use of that minor chord. So let's start with the drums. If you hear that noise in the background, that's my dog scratching. So now you know. All right, here's the drums soloed. All right, let's get into the individual tracks. Okay, so we have, looks like we have 4 kick tracks, kick in, out, and looks like a sub kick and then a trigger. So let's just check them out. Definitely, I mean, besides the trigger, definitely a natural kick there. And let's hear them all together. I'll add the overheads just for more context. Nice. And looks like as far as snare goes, we got snare top, second snare top. I'm not sure what the 98 stands for. I mean, I'm sure it's a microphone, but I'm not sure which one. And snare bottom and a snare trigger. And let's just listen to those snares. There's a lot of snare action in this song. So I know that a lot of you are going to jump straight to your samples and replacement and stuff, but you could really ruin a track like this if you do that, because there's so much detail you need to capture from the natural performance. And parts like this, they're going to sound fucking stupid if you remove too much of the natural snare or at all. Excuse my language, but I mean, I don't know how to say it other than fucking stupid, because that's what it would sound like. And this drummer hits really hard, and I actually like that snare sound. Let's check out the other snare top mic, hear what we've got. A lot of snare detail in that snare bottom. That's good. Now, Kurt has done you a big favor here, which is that he already laid the sample of his choice in, and he took the time to get the dynamics and the multi-sample happening to a point where it doesn't sound fake. So if you decide that you want to use your own samples, if you solo the sample, the snare sample, and it doesn't sound this real, you're fucking up. And all the snares together. You really can't tell that there's a sample in there, but it does sound more powerful with it. Let's check out the overheads real quick. Looks like we have a stereo overhead track. All right. And looks like we have 2 rides, a hat, and 2 toms. I was just checking what rack high, rack low, and rack bottom. Not sure what this refers to unless it's the EQ gating trick. Okay, so you can get a really nice blend with these 3 tom mics. Add these in. Yeah, so object of the game is going to be to get a good balance between these. Obviously EQ and do all the stuff you need to do to it. To get toms sounding good, they always need something, but I would try to work with what you've been given. As far as these hats go and rides go, as you can see, besides this one ride mic, these have not been cut out where they're not playing, and you might want to do that. Up to you, but you might want to consider it. It could also be, the reason it's not cut out could be because he hits the ride a lot. I don't know. I mean, he's not hitting it in the intro, but it seems like here he is hitting it quite a bit. All right, let's check out our room options. We've got close room, big room, wide room, and trigger room. And trigger room, I suspect, is the samples going through a room that Kurt constructed in software. Nice. You can definitely use that to get good length on your drums right there and make them sound like a kit in a big space. So let me just say, when you get 4 tracks of rooms, that doesn't mean you have to use 4 tracks of rooms. Maybe start with one that adds something that's missing in your mix and go from there, or maybe 2, but you're not required to use 4. And that's a mistake that a lot of mixers make when they get these tracks, is they see 4 tracks of rooms or more sometimes, and they're like, how do I get this going? But what you got to understand is that producers, and I've done this myself many, many times, producers will use available tracks in order to achieve a certain goal or to experiment, or maybe there's multiple different types of parts on the record that might not be on this particular song, but there's setups in place for those types of parts. Like, you never know what they were intending with all the different tracks, but it doesn't mean you have to use them all. In most cases, they were not intending to use all the tracks at all times. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's look at bass. Lots of good options here. I'm just saying that I haven't even heard the bass, but I'm sure it's good. Looks like you got a room, nifty 150. I don't know, maybe that's the 50 150. We'll find out. 8200 sub 8200. And the DI. Let's just listen to the DI, see what we got. Yes, I love that. This is actually one of the things I was most excited to learn from Kurt on is his bass tones, because they sound so damn mean. And just listen to how the teeth on that. Yes. And he was cool enough to split this into high and low, so you can control the low end however you want. Let's hear what this nifty 150 is. Yes. Love it. I have no. I'm guessing that this is just a room mic on the bass amp. We're gonna find out. That's my guess, but sounds pretty cool. But I mean, you're welcome to try to get your own sound. But again, like I keep saying, I would just use what's here. This is here for a reason, and this is a very trademark Kurt Ballou bass sound. So I'm very, very interested to find out more about it and what he does with it, because this is just cool sounding. All right, I'm going to turn the bass back down to where it was before. I just wanted to turn it up for you guys. All right, let's see what we got going on guitar-wise. JMP1, Sparrow Sun. I don't know what that means. Looks like a room mic. And then another room mic. And then more guitars. So guitar 2. And then there's some parts where there's a third and a fourth guitar. And it looks like the third and the fourth guitar are through a 6534. That's a PV amp. Badass amp. That's the newer version of the 5150, which they no longer make. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure that's what it is. And guitar 1 and 2 are the same thing. So you have, looks like 3 mics and a stereo for guitars 1 and 2, and then 2 mics for guitars 3 and 4, and no DIs. And that's good, because you should try to make your own. You should try to work with this. With these room mics, I am convinced, I'm sure that these are, the way they're used is very, very quietly underneath the rest, just to make it sound a little more three-dimensional, but not, not to muddy the waters, because with a recording that's supposed to sound this live and in your face at the same time, it's always going to be a balance, like a fine balance of the elements that make it sound like a live band and the elements that make it sound big and polished. And sometimes those things are going to be in opposition to each other. So that's another reason that this is going to be a very interesting nail to mix. Check that out. That's a cool riff. All right. What else we got? All right. An acoustic. Interesting. You know what I find interesting here? It's just, just a note is we've got DIs for the acoustics, but not for the heavy guitars, but that's okay. It's for a reason. Oh shit, that's awesome. Is that an acoustic guitar? I need to find out more about this. That it sounds like uh, just like a noise maker guitar that just adds chaos and hate to the whole thing. That's awesome sounding. That's so cool. So see, sounds like that plus that mega distorted bass. That's the stuff of legends right there. That might be an acoustic guitar. I need to find out. All right, and last up, we've got vocals here, and looks like we have a main lead line, and then the parts where the chaos guitar comes in, we have a double and a triple, it seems. And I'm not sure if these are supposed to be stereo or not. They are panned stereo here. I don't know if that was Kurt's intent or not. We'll find out. And then yeah, it looks like if you want to call this the bridge section, back to one vocal for the lead line, and then I don't know if this is supposed to be stereo either. So let's just hear some vocals. Love it. You can see that this is recorded with compression already, and possibly distortion, or maybe the distortion is coming through the compressors. But I love vocals that are tracked with good sounding distortion and compression. I love that shit. I've always thought that it's better than what I've been able to get with plugins, me personally, like tracking it right there through hardware that gives you noise. Love it. You don't know what my baby. I swear I'm trying. I swear I'm trying. I swear I'm trying. What is this? Yeah, reamp vocals. That's awesome. With the guitar noises going on right here. All right, and that's it for this unboxing of August 2018's Nail the Mix with Kurt Ballou and Converge. I encourage you guys to try and mix this as natural as you can, and try to get it as stylistically accurate, because that's going to be the real challenge, getting it to sound stylistically accurate yet powerful. You've got your work cut out for you. So good luck and happy mixing.